Those, my friend, are all mites. And even if I move the camera over here, hive beetle right there, look at how many mites dropped out of this hive. Just a massive infestation of Varroa in this hive. These two hives behind me have been neglected all year. Let's look inside and see what's happened. So just a quick story on these two hives. They belong to a good friend of mine. Due to personal circumstances, hasn't really been able to be in them all year. So this will give us a good chance to see the status of a hive that's not been taken care of as far as mite treatments or being fed all year long. Let's see if they're healthy or if they're even gonna make it through the winter today. So just join me and we'll take a look. All right, so we're literally gonna be checking everything in here today. We're gonna be looking for hive beetles, wax moths. We're gonna be looking for brood. Maybe if there's not even a queen in here, I don't even know. And we're also gonna, if we find the queen, we're also gonna do a mite test. These hives have not even been tested for mites all year long. So let's jump in and see where we're at on these two hives. I'm gonna start with this one. Definitely the weaker of the two hives. These frames are cemented in. Okay, these frames are completely empty. It looks like this top box is completely empty. Check one more frame here. There's nothing in this top box. These frames are completely empty of anything. We still have a population in here, so hopefully we have a queen and we have some brood in the bottom box. Let's check it out. This box also looks to be pretty empty. I use all 8 frame equipment, and 8 frame equipment has a little bit of extra room for manipulating the frames versus the 10. Looking for the queen. A little bit of pollen, a little bit of nectar. In this frame, and then we have an empty frame. It's not even been built up, and then another empty frame. And some really nasty looking comb. Definitely going to consolidate everything in here into the middle. Still no frame, no brood, no resources at all. Hive looks like it's maybe on its way out. A little bit of pollen, a little bit of nectar and pollen in here. Really would love to see if they have a queen, but right now I see no evidence of a queen in this hive. I do. Okay, so we do have a little bit of brood here. So, and I do see a little bit of larva in a couple of these frames. We probably have a queen in here somewhere, and this would probably be the frame that she's on, because most of the frames do not have very many bees on them. Not seeing her right now. But there is a little bit of life in here. It's going to be pretty tricky to get this hive going again. There's some nectar in here. I would love to be able to find her. This is a definition of some wonky comb, but this is often what happens if you don't wax your frames evenly. I don't think these frames were waxed evenly by my friend, and as a result of it, the bees don't actually build the wax on the plastic foundation. They actually build it above it and make tunnels underneath. I don't know if you can see the tunnel underneath there. So I'm probably going to scrape this all off and just let them start again, because this side they did a good job on. This side, not so much. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take all of the frames that have activity on them, and I'm going to condense them down in this bottom box. So I've got a good frame of comb there. This is a half a frame of comb. I've got a good frame of comb here. Just going to check one more time, see if I can find her. And then what I'm going to do, hopefully this other hive, it looks like it's a lot stronger. So I'm going to try to equalize the hives by giving this hive a couple of frames of brood and maybe a frame of resources, depending on what I find in this second hive. This hive is unfortunately not strong enough for me to do a mite test on. So I don't feel like this is one of those situations where I can sacrifice the 300 bees. So I'm probably just going to hit this hive with oxalic acid 2 or 3 times over the next week or two here. All right, so that's a good frame of activity. Frame has some pollen, so I'm going to move it over. Thankfully, I see no hive beetles. I think I saw one beetle a moment ago, and I haven't seen any wax moths in here either, so that's good news. There's a couple of hive beetles. My hive beetle crusher. Okay, that looks like all the decent frames. This has just got some drawn comb. This has got all messed up comb on one side. I'm going to go ahead and take that off as well. I hate to take this off, but what happens is if you don't, then the problem just continues to exacerbate throughout the hive. So the next one, they can't build the comb out all the way, so they build that one weird, and then it just kind of goes right down the line. So, but this is not even on the frame, so I'm probably going to replace these frames with some frames that are waxed a little bit better, or even already drawn out comb. All right, so I'm going to take the good side. It's got some pollen in it, and put that in my new nest here in the bottom. Really would have loved to have found my queen. She could be down in the box. Okay, so I've made my nest down here on this side. I'm going to stick this frame in here temporarily, but I'm going to probably going to put a feeder down in here in this hive, and I'm also probably going to try to find a frame or two of brood from this other hive if they have extra. This box has nothing in it. I can tell just by lifting it. So I'm going to shake all the bees out of here and just take this box off. So before I'm brushing these, I'm just taking a quick look to see if I find the queen, which take some of these that have not been drawn out at all, like this end frame here, and replace it with a medium. And again, because I have not found my queen, I'm gonna brush all these in there, and there's quite a few hive beetles in here now. All right, so this is the first hive. Let's take a look at this second hive. I'm just gonna put this on here temporarily because I'm hoping that I'll have a lot more resources over here that I can share with that hive. Try to equalize these hives for winter. Yeah, this hive looks much stronger. One thing I don't like about this vapor smoker is that it doesn't stand up, and so there's just no way to make it stand properly. So you set it down quickly and it falls over, falls off the frames, and becomes a mess. This is empty, empty, empty. A little bit of drawn comb. Pretty sure this is not going to be staying on this hive, so I'm going to just shake the bees down. This one's empty. Keep gonna get stung on the ankles. Okay, beautiful frame of brood here. This side is, so this definitely can be a candidate, depending on what I find, to move over to the other hive. I really would love to find my queen, because then I might even shake some nurse bees over onto the other side as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and shake this off and temporarily put that over here. Possibility. Here we've got a frame of some hatching brood and some more hatching brood. A little bit of nectar. Nothing. And a little bit of nectar. And we've got some nectar here. I'm seeing as many hive beetles down below as I was on the top. That's encouraging. A little bit of hatching brood. You can even see we've got one right here that's about to be born right here. I don't know if I'm in the camera shot or not, but this one. Come on out, little fella. Actually, little girl. There we go. Here are a couple of bees being born. Little bit of nectar. Nothing. And a 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 little bit There you go, twins. Okay, I've got a nice frame of brood here and some eggs and larvae. So this one again might be a really good candidate for the other side. Some eggs and larvae here, so she's still laying on this frame. Boy, this whole thing would help me a lot if I found her today. We're just drawing this frame out. Lots of hive beetles on this frame. So many that I'm going to brush off the bees lightly and see if I can just shake the hive beetles out of here. All right, I need to go in the bottom box and see what's going on. Ideally, since I only had a couple of used frames in that top box, which was a deep, there were a couple empty frames down here. I'm gonna put those down in the bottom and get this thing down to 2 boxes. All right, so I have looking for the queen. There's really nothing on this frame. Okay, I've got a frame of brood. I expect to see her here, but I'm trying to do a good and I really would love to do a mite test. This could be another one that I could take out. Oh, there she is. Yay, found her. And that's going to help me a lot here. I'm going to wait until she gets in the place where I can. There's my queen. Right down in there. You see the little yellow dot. I'm going to try to get her on the comb and just put her in this cage temporarily. There we go. Alright, great. I've got her trapped in there. No, I don't. She got away. Look, there she is over there. Climb up on the comb. Wish I had a queen clip. I don't have one in my hand. I think I have one in my bag though. I could go get it. Now I got her trapped in there. Gracious, that was a pain. Okay, so now I'm going to do a mite test on this hive because I really want to see where we're at. Finding that queen is going to really help me to equalize these hives as well. Because now I don't have to be as cautious about doing something wrong or causing any damage. We're in September, it's kind of late, so this is going to be really good. So I'm going to go ahead and shake some bees into the cover here, and we'll run a mite test. So this hive has not been treated all year for mites, so this is going to be a very interesting mite test. You can let that sit for a minute while I finish inspecting this hive. All I'm looking for to see how much brood I can find that I might be able to share with another hive at this point. And if I can consolidate this down to 2 boxes. Several hive beetles. Look at them all. See them, they're everywhere. Oh my goodness, look at this side. Just covered with hive beetles. All right, now I'm going to put this hive back together. So I've got a pollen frame here. I've got some pollen and nectar here. We'll keep that one. I've got pollen and a little bit of brood here. We'll keep that one. Really not much on here, so I'm gonna wait before I determine that. Got a good frame of brood here. Got a couple of old queen cells. I have some dead drone brood there. This is actually a medium frame. I'm going to go ahead and scrape this off. All right, so I'm going to wait and see what I'm going to do with that frame. I've got a frame of brood here. I'm going to keep this one. So that's 4. Getting stung. There's really nothing on here to speak of, so I'm going to wait on this one as well. All right, let me see how many frames I have up here that I want to move down to the bottom box. This is so much easier when you know where your queen is. Okay, so that's 5. This has some brood on it. That'll be 6. This has some pollen on it. I need some nectar. That'll be 7. Some nectar on it. That'll be 8. And this will be 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. And then I'm going to take the frame with the queen on it. Put that in. That'll be 10. And be really careful with her and watch her go down. All right, let's take a look at the mite test and see what we got. All right, let me see if I can count this hive. I know it's hard to see on the camera. Let me just count them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 25. We got a lot of mites. I don't know what the exact number is, but this one doesn't matter. The bees are jumping into the alcohol. So let me shut this up. Definitely going to have to treat this hive. So I'm probably going to use a little bit of Formic Pro on it. I'm going to put a Formic Pro pad on this hive, and I'm going to hit it with oxalic acid. It's got a really high mite load, and so it's going to be a little bit of work to get these mites down under control. All right, back over to this hive. I think I'm done here. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple of these frames of bees and move them over here. See if we can boost this hive up a little bit. Take that one out. And we'll take this one out. And then we will put this over here. Here. All right, so I guess overall, that first hive, I don't know if it'll make it or not. I didn't find the queen. I wish it did. That would have made me feel a lot better about the situation. This hive is super strong. It's got a really high mite load and quite a few hive beetles, but not enough to where I'm sorry, girls. I know I told you I was done, but I'm not. Okay. Got my hive beetle trap. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. Lost my hive tool already. All right, well, the bees are not happy, but I think I've got them to a place where I know what I need to do to get these hives ready for winter. From here, I'm gonna give them an oxalic acid treatment, both of them. I didn't give any Formic Pro to the first hive because it can have a detrimental effect on the queen laying. And so I just don't want to take that chance because I don't even know how strong, if there's even a queen in there for sure. And this hive, I gave it some Formic, and I'm gonna hit it with oxalic acid just because it's kind of emergency mode. The mite load is just way too high. I'm gonna go ahead and feed them both some pollen substitute and some sugar water. There's not very much resources inside of these hives, and see if I can rescue them and get them back. And then the other thing I did, of course, was take 2 frames of brood from this hive, move them over there, try to boost them up a little bit. And so we'll see how it goes, and hopefully I can rescue these hives before winter. Okay, so it's the next day. I did a oxalic acid treatment on these hives that have been neglected all year long. And I just want to show you the massive mite drop that I had from just one OA treatment on one of these hives. Those, my friend, are all mites. And even if I move the camera over here, hive beetle right there, look at how many mites dropped out of this hive. Just a massive infestation of Varroa in this hive. You know, this is just one of those situations where this hive, just because of circumstances, they weren't able to pay a lot of attention to it and keep up with the mites during the year. And this is just an example of how quickly the Varroa can explode inside of a hive. So I'm trying to rescue this hive and make it through the winter. It's the end of September right now. I'm going to continue to treat it with, I've got Formic in there right now, and I'm going to continue to treat this hive and see if I can get the mite load down in time for the winter.